My lovely, lovely, wonderful people, a pleasant afternoon to you. You know, Jesus Christ is the best being ever. Serve him today. Serve him today. All right, beauties, lovely people. I'm not sure when this was. It was actually Sunday today, It says, sorry. No, this was done the 19th. Wholeness says Jamaica must move from exporting talent to attracting it. Heard him talking about something like that, before. It says Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says Jamaica must reposition itself from being an exporter of talent to becoming a destination that attracts and retains skilled workers if the country is to achieve sustained economic growth. Addressing the 25th anniversary gala of Rio Hotels and Resorts in Montego Bay on Thursday night, Holness argued that the global competition for talent has become one of the defining challenges of the modern era, surpassing even the race for investment and natural resources. Countries are competing for visitors, countries are competing for investments, they are competing for businesses, but you know what else they're competing for? They're competing for talent. That in fact is the biggest competition, Holness told guests. And if by this token it is so, well, he would have echoed the sentiments of the great Warren Buffett when they asked him what is the best investment. He said human resource, not natural resource, human resource. You invest in human resource. In other words, you train them up, retrain them, and keep them at a high level. And the rest will be history. The Prime Minister noted that while Jamaica has historically supplied skilled workers to overseas markets, the country must now seek to attract talent from abroad while creating opportunities that encourage Jamaicans to remain at home. Jamaica must position itself not only as a net exporter of talent, which we have been for almost 200 years, but we need to now position ourselves to be receivers of talent into our economy. If our economy is to grow and expand, he said. When I think of this, sometimes it's very hard, when I think of the reality is, and this is not an indictment on the Prime Minister, because sometimes when we speak, people just want to hear something negative and they feel that you're relaying this as it regards the Prime Minister. He's just a mere mortal. He's one human being. The reality is that there are too many of us who are underemployed. And when we reach our wits' end of that, it's like we say, boy, we want to do well in our own country, but our own country not welcoming us. It's like when it says a prophet is not welcome in his or her own home. And it's quite disheartening. It's quite debilitating psychologically and emotionally. Because, I'm really a patriot to my country, really and truly. My heart is here. And your heart just belongs somewhere, but it's sometimes you wonder if you need to escape your heart and just go with your mind and just go elsewhere and try and make it. And I'm disturbed by that, because in my mind, our country is rich in resources, rich. There is that possibility. I'm not sure if we are rich in talent and skilled workers. And this is not an indictment on the Prime Minister. This is an indictment on the people. There are many people who have been encouraged to go back to school, go back and get some skills, or to retrain themselves, or to up their training, and they have refused. Lord made it tough. Me can't bother with it. Me can't take the botheration, murderation. All of them can't bother. Me just can't bother. Laziness has set in. It has taken hold of them, possessed them, not understanding that you have to be comfortable in being uncomfortable. You have to put in the work. You can't say you want this and that and not put in the work. And for those of us who have done that and we're still, I can only pray that God will show us the light at the end of the tunnel, because it's really unfair to many of us when we stick around in our own country and cannot really get back what we would have invested in and given. There's too many of us where our talents, our skills, and our abilities are not being utilized the way we ought for it to be, and we're not compensated. We're not remunerated the way we ought to. Notwithstanding, let's continue. Holness stressed that migration, tourism, and foreign direct investment are often discussed separately, but are ultimately influenced by the same factors that determine whether people choose one country over another. A tourist chooses where to spend a vacation. An investor chooses where to place capital. Place capital in us. Us. Place it here so. Me and other talented, gifted, skilled people. That's what Warren Buffett said. Invest in your people. A business chooses where to establish operations. A skilled worker chooses where to build a career. A family chooses where to build a future, he said, adding that decisions about where to live, work, and invest are increasingly shaped by issues such as safety, governance, efficiency, connectivity, and economic opportunity. The countries that succeed are those countries that become a destination of choice, the Prime Minister said. When will Jamaica become the destination of choice? When will us Jamaicans who are skilled, talented, gifted, have the ability, educated, can say, I'm amply paid. It breaks my heart when I think of countries like Singapore, where they said the graduate, the student who just completed his or her first degree, when I was checking what they earn, I'm just going to quote the Jamaican equivalent, it would be between $400,000 to $600,000. I can't say if it's gross or net. I don't remember. But as a starter, so them just will leave school with the certificate, walk into their place of employment, and that is their earning monthly. 400 to 600 and odd, I guess, depending on where their training is or whatnot, or who is a better worker, even though you just start. All right? That's just for the beginner. The countries that succeed are those countries that become a destination of choice. That the Prime Minister said, pointing to countries such as Singapore, yes, see there, Dubai, and there are people I know who are in Dubai, boy, they're doing very well financially. So do we. Just pay we better now, man. Jesus have mercy. And Switzerland are examples of nations that have successfully built environments that attract investment, skilled workers, and long-term economic activity. Holness argued that Jamaica's tourism industry can play a crucial role in that effort by serving as an entry point for deeper engagement with the country. Pay the people better. Pay the people better now, please. Please. I remember former MP had said years ago, by the people who earning $500,000 barely scraping. And there are people who are so educated and earning less than 200, or earning 300, or a little over 300. Come on. No. Because if you're earning 500 and barely scraping, it means that most people shouldn't be earning less than 500. That's what he said. And it's somebody who has training and knowledge and expertise in finance. So, and I totally agree, to be honest with you. I totally agree with that MP. Totally. Tourism is not simply an industry. It is oftentimes the first introduction to a country. It shapes perceptions. It builds confidence. It showcases a nation's potential. Tourism is a gateway to investment-led development, he said. He said successful tourism investments help create a cycle in which visitors become familiar with Jamaica. Confidence grows, investment follows, and new opportunities emerge that can retain local talent while attracting workers from elsewhere. Retain people like me. Retain us. We're contributing, but pay us better. Give us good benefits. Treat us with honor, respect, the loyalty, the commitment, and the devotion that we give, that I give. Do it. Opportunity retains and attracts talents, Holness said. So instead of our Jamaicans leaving to go elsewhere to work, they stay here and contribute to our economy. But they also attract people to come in and work. It creates diversity, true. It helps to improve our own talent, expand our services, and it challenges us to even do better based on the work ethic of other people from other countries. So I don't have a problem with that. It's a little long in terms of the article. So, I agree, but employ what Warren Buffett said. For those of us who are willing and ambitious, invest in the human resources. Invest. Anyway, guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lines and you can follow me on Instagram. Have a good one.